Jim Rogers predicts end of dollar dominance as US-China tensions escalate. Renowned investor Jim Rogers believes that the US greenback dominance is coming to an quit as the tensions between the US and China mount. The developing countrywide debt, the protests, and the political uncertainty surrounding the presidential election and international locations searching for a USD choice in vary of sanctions will take a toll on the dollar, he explained. Jim Rogers discusses end of USD dominance. Jim Rogers shared his view on the stop of the United States dollar dominance in an interview with RT Booklet Saturday, factoring in current world events. He co-founded the Quantum Fund in 1973 with billionaire investor George Soros, which used to be regarded one of the most profitable hedged dollars in its heyday. Firstly, Rogers defined that the US is now the biggest debtor kingdom in the records of the world, and it's getting greater and greater each and every day, emphasizing that it will take a toll on the dollar. The United States countrywide debt is presently extra than $26.73 trillion, the veteran investor opined. Traditionally, the United States dollar has been the soundest currency in the world, but tradition changes. The United States dollar is coming to its century or so of dominance, and something else will replace it. The funding guru pointed to the examples of the British pound and Dutch guilder, noting that each have been until now regarded the most dependable currencies. According to Rogers, the greenback should nonetheless exhibit electricity subsequent 12 months as soon as the modern turmoil in the US is over, such as the protests and the November presidential election. However, he delivered that it will probably be the dollar's final shot, reiterating his stance that the greenback is simply a few years away from dropping its dominance. Some analysts have envisioned that the presidential election effect should fall down the US greenback and ship the expenses of gold and Bitcoin skyrocketing. Meanwhile, the world's second largest American debt holder, China, is planning to reduce its US debt holdings as tensions with Washington escalate, Chinese state-run newspaper The Global Times reported. Experts in Beijing count on China to minimize its US debt holdings via 20% from $1 trillion to $800 billion. The paper in addition warns that it may want to even sell all of its United States bonds in a severe case like a Navy conflict. Rogers emphasized that China lowering American debt will put stress on US activity rates, including that they should be going up. From the Chinese standpoint, the famed investor stated that it's a clever monetary and funding move, one that will enhance with Chinese yuan, which he stated has already been occurring for quite a few weeks. Rogers elaborated, if they sell US debt, they sell dollars, therefore their currency goes higher. In addition, various international locations have already commenced searching for a choice foreign money to the US greenback due to the contemporary turbulence in the US and the Trump administration's hard overseas policies. While these plans are in all likelihood underway in Beijing, Rogers believes that the Trump administration will downplay his threat. Trump thinks he's smarter than everybody in the world. So they will probably do anything they favor to do and think, don't fear, we're Washington and we can take care of it. He used to be quoted as saying. This is now not the first time Rogers has warned about the US greenback losing its dominance. He additionally warned about the USD dropping its world reserve foreign money status, as did Goldman Sachs. Last month, the investor additionally envisioned that the worst monetary downturn in his lifetime is coming. Meanwhile, Morgan Stanley currently estimated that the Chinese yuan will come to be the world's third largest reserve forex inside 10 years, and quite a few analysts are awaiting the US greenback to crash. A developing variety of buyers now say Bitcoin is appropriate funding for this environment. However, Rajas believes that governments will no longer let cryptocurrency flourish. The Fed runs out of firepower. Finally, it is very viable we will see the inventory market roll over when the Federal Reserve runs out of firepower, which in my view might also have already happened. The Fed has taken its federal money fee as low as it is inclined to go, and has pledged limitless quantitative easing to shore up the markets and hold long-term lending costs down. But there may be solidly so a good deal the Fed can do, and fiscal coverage has been at a standstill over ideological disagreements between Democrats and Republicans on Capitol Hill. What to do if the inventory market crashes again? All of these elements endorse a second inventory market crash may also be coming. Should some other large downdraft arrive, walking for the hills isn't always what you will desire to do. Rather, reflect on consideration on making the following 3 moves. Assess your funding thesis. First of all, take the time to reassess your preliminary funding thesis in the shares you hold. In different words, stroll over back through the motives you sold into an agency in the first location and make positive these motives nonetheless keep true. It must be cited that you do not want the danger of a manageable inventory market crash as a motivator to do this. Examine your portfolio each and every so frequently and think about promoting organizations that have damaged your preliminary funding thesis. Have dry powder at the ready. Secondly, you may choose to have money at the prepared to installation all through an inventory market crash or correction. Keep in thought that there have been 38 corrections of at least 10% in the S&P 500 over the previous 70 years, and each and every single one of these full-size strikes, decrease has sooner or later been erased by means of a bull market rally. As lengthy as your intention is to remain invested for the lengthy haul, having money at the equipped throughout an inventory market crash is a lovely thing. Continue to add your winners. Lastly, it is an specifically clever notion to use inventory market crashes as possibilities to add to your winners. Though it can be tempting to comment down on corporations that have struggled, the reality is that winners generally hold winning. Target corporations that have simple and hopefully sustainable aggressive blessings throughout durations of panic and heightened volatility. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.